Hey guys, we're going to be doing a try-on haul today. I ordered a bunch of stuff from Selfridges, including some of the new Hermes lipsticks. These are some of the limited edition lipsticks that came out for the spring season. I'm also going to be trying one of the new Dior foundations. This is the Forever Natural Nude, and I did get it in the shade 2N. And I'm also, from Dior, going to be trying two of their new quints. It's part of like their Dune summer collection. Anyway, we'll get into it. I don't know if I'll be able to put like all 10 of the colors on my eyes, but I am hoping to play with both. I did also purchase some of the new Gucci lip products. What are these called? The Glow and Care Lip Color. So I think these are like a tinted balm, which you guys know I love. So I'm really excited to try all these out. I am going to be trying out the Guerlain Terracotta Bronzing Powder. This is like the naturally derived pigments. It has like a luminescent shimmer. I've already tried this in a trying new makeup video. I liked it, but I wasn't like wowed by it. So I just want to give it another shot. So I thought I would do that today, and I have it in the shade 01 Light Warm. And as for blush and highlight, I did not get a chance to use these two from the Samantha March Ofra collaboration. This is part of her Life's a Draft like face palette. I played around with some of the eyeshadows in a different video, and I don't have any new blushes or highlights, so I thought I'd play around with those. So let's go ahead and get started with the Dior Forever Natural Nude Foundation. All right, I just threw some SPF on. I almost forgot. And I've been using my Dr. Dennis Gross All Physical Lightweight Wrinkle Defense SPF 30. So I just threw some of that on. And now I am ready to throw on this new Dior foundation. So this is what the bottle looks like. Really, really beautiful. It looks very similar to their other foundations, their other Forever foundations, but it has this like nude cap to it. So I'm going to go ahead and shake this up. It does claim to have a 24-hour wear. So it does state that it has a long wear perfection with a nude skin sensation, fresh and lightweight like a lotion. Sounds good to me. The texture seamlessly absorbs upon application and lets the skin breathe from morning to night. For 24 hours nonstop, the complexion is perfectly even, luminous, and natural looking with no cakey effect. Skin is radiant, appears plump and smoothed, and the skin's texture appears tightened. Ooh, okay. I am down for that. So let's go ahead and pump some out. The shade 2N is usually the shade that I go with for Dior. So I am fairly confident it will work. Ooh, and this does have like a nice kind of lotiony texture. You can see that's not running at all. And I'm gonna go ahead and use my foundation brush. This is the BK Beauty 101. I think it's like the contoured foundation brush, something like that. Anyway, it's the foundation brush that I really love, use all the time. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of this. And here it is spread out, by the way. So there is the shade. Yeah, and that should work. It does have a very lightweight fragrance, like fresh with just a hint of floral. And I do have very, very high hopes for this foundation because, as you guys know, I'm a big, big fan of Dior foundations. They always seem to work out for me, no matter the finish or what the claims are. Even if it's something I feel like I'm not gonna like, I always tend to like them. They always have such a beautiful skin-like effect. So I'm really excited for this one. And I am just putting it on this half of my face so we can take a look and compare to the bare side of my face. Okay, my first thought is I did not need a lot of product to kind of get it on this half of my face. That was about like a full pump, and I definitely have some left over. So that's pretty cool. Does this claim to have any SPF? No SPF in this one. All right, so there it is applied to this half of my face. Here is no foundation. Here's foundation. You can clearly see my skin is much more even on this side, much more perfected on this side. And yeah, I think the shade is really good. The finish is very, very natural. It is just slightly radiant. I would say it has more of like a skin-like kind of appearance. It looks really, really good. And this is kind of the magic that I find with Dior foundation. Like you can see the difference between the two sides of my face without foundation, with foundation, but it doesn't look like I have a ton of makeup on this side. It almost looks like my skin just looks better on this side mysteriously. Really lovely. And I would say the coverage is like a light medium. Light medium. It's definitely a little bit more than light because I do feel like a lot of my sunspots here are camouflaged. Not fully, but like camouflaged a bit. So that is awesome. All right, so far so good. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the rest of this to my face. I'm probably gonna have to pump out a little bit more. All right, there it is applied to my entire face. I am really, really liking this foundation so far. It is definitely living up to my expectations, which are very, very high when it comes to Dior foundations. Let me just take a close look at my nose here. Oh yeah, looks great. Very seamless. It's not breaking up or doing anything weird. I have this horrible pimple down here that I popped and it covered that really nicely. Lovely. Oh, I'm liking this. Okay. All right. As far as concealer is concerned, I don't have anything like brand spanking new, but I'm just going to throw on the By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Concealer. I have it in the shade 100 Fair, and I've really been enjoying this concealer. So it has a really nice creamy texture. I love this brush tip applicator. It's really, really quite handy. So I'm just going to spread some out underneath my eyes there, maybe put a little bit on top. And this does dispense quite a bit of product, so I just wiped some off on a paper towel. I'm just going to use this brush to blend in. All right, concealer is applied. I'm going to go ahead and use this Dior Forever Cushion Powder. I have it in the shade Light, and I have used this for you guys before, but I only used it in one video. It was like a trying to make a video, and I had this. But I thought since we were kind of working with Dior today, I thought I would give this another shot. I do remember that this powder I thought was a lot more mattifying than I like. I mean, I like a powder to mattify a little bit, but I want to leave a little bit of a satin sheen to my skin. So I am going to take it a little bit, I'm going to take it a little bit more lightly than I did in that video. I'm going to use just the tiniest amount. And I'm actually going to use a very wispy blush brush. This is the Suku blush brush, and I'm only going to grab a little bit of the powder off of the cover here. And I'm just going to apply it just lightly around my eyes just to kind of set that concealer. And I think you can probably see just with that light amount, like how mattifying this powder is. And I think that's great for the coming summer months, but I have dry skin and I don't necessarily like a powder that's like too mattifying. So I'm kind of on the fence about this one for me personally. But if you have oilier skin, I would imagine this is like a dream. All right, so I'm just placing the powder kind of strategically, just kind of down my T-zone, around my nose especially, and then just lightly over my cheeks so that when I do apply other powder products, you know, it'll glide on a little bit better. I hope you guys can see like how much more mattified my skin looks. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I used such a small amount of this powder. It just goes to show you how powerful this powder is. So that's the Dior Forever Cushion Powder. And I do have it in the shade Light. But let's move on to this bronzer. So this is the newest Guerlain Terracotta Bronzer. This has like a very high percentage of like naturally derived ingredients. I don't know exactly, but it's on their website. It's on the Sephora website as well. And I did get it in the shade Light Warm. And like I said before, I really like this bronzer. I think it looked nice on the skin, but I just didn't think there was anything, I don't know, special about it. So I wanted to try it again. I want to give it another shot. So I'm sorry, I'm just like looking around for a clean bronzer brush. I'm just going to grab my Beautylish Year of the Ox brush. This is squirrel hair. So it's going to pick up a light amount and I'm just swirling it in here. This is, by the way, this is the Light Warm. And this does have the terracotta scent. So if that bothers you, you want to stay away from all of the terracotta products. They all have the same scent. I'm actually having a little bit of trouble picking up product. I wonder if this has like a little bit of a layer over it. Maybe that's why I'm not having the best luck with it. Let's see. Let me try something a little stiffer here. All right, I'm grabbing my Rephr bronzer brush, which is very fluffy, very dense. Let me see if I can pick up more product. Yeah, I'm like really, really getting it in there and not picking up too much. I get the feeling there's a little bit of a layer on top. Let me just kind of keep working this. Okay, I think I kind of broke through. I also see, I don't know if you guys are going to see it, but there's almost like a shininess here, and then you can see where I really went in with my brush. Have you guys tried this new bronzer from Guerlain? Yeah, I'm wondering if it's just mine or if it's something you guys felt like you had to do or if it's meant to be kind of press hard so that you don't pick up like too much bronzer. Anyway, let me know what you think. But now that I feel like I have enough product on my brush, let me go ahead and apply. Oh yeah, okay. I am liking this more than I first used it. I think I just wasn't picking up enough product and I was like, it's okay. I didn't feel like it was doing too much, but now I'm getting a better sense of the tone. I'm getting a lot more pigment. So this is bronzed. This is unbronzed. Yeah, and this, again, this is the light warm. I wonder if I should try the light cool because this is pretty warm and I do feel like it's okay for the warmer months, but you know, that's something I'm going to be wearing all year round, I don't think. But let's go ahead and apply it to the rest of my face. Yeah, I think you have to kind of break through a layer because this time around, I only swirled my brush in a little bit. I wanted to see if I kind of broke through that layer, and I think I did because now I feel like I got enough pigment down and I didn't need to go quite, I mean, not nearly as hard as before. So interesting. Well, that's my experience. And if you guys end up picking this up, just keep that in mind that you may have to kind of break through a little layer on top there. Oh yeah, I'm liking this much, much more. Yeah, it's giving me a nice, healthy glow. All right, well, I'm glad I tried it again, and I'm glad I tried it again on camera with you guys so that you could see that it was like that layer on top. All right, for blush, I'm gonna use Samantha March's Ofra Collab. This is the shade number 6, and this is a blush with a lot of sheen to it, which I really enjoy. So I'm very excited. I'm gonna go ahead and use, again, like a lighter weight kind of brush because Ofra products can be very, very pigmented. So I wanna go in kind of slow. So I've got my Sony G Designer Pro brush here. I'm gonna go into the blush. Ooh. Ooh, look at that sheen. Wow, if you don't want to add highlight after this blush, you definitely don't have to. This is like a blush and highlighter in one. Ooh, and I like this color. Ooh, I think I added too much. You know what's funny? Because this blush has a sheen, I'm applying it and I see like this beautiful like reflect, but once I get rid of that reflect, I kind of turn towards you, I look like I put way too much on. Not that I mind a lot of blush, but let me just try and wipe that away with my powder brush. I'll try and use a little bit more discipline on this side and not apply so much blush. Actually, I'll just look forward when I'm doing it, and that should save me. Wow, look at how bright that blush is. God, it's beautiful. Like I suspected, these Ofra products are really, really pigmented. I love the tone of this. It's so unique. I don't know, in some light I feel like it's cool toned, and then in some lights it looks very warm. Oh, it's so cool. Wow. All right, next for highlight, I'm gonna go ahead and try this brand new highlight from Samantha and Ofra. It's called Dream Chaser, and it looks to have like a really beautiful like pinky champagne hint to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Yano series brush number 5 and pick up just a little bit. Ofra highlights are blinding. They're some of the brightest highlights I have. And I'm just going to apply a little bit right here. Wow. I've been using such subtle highlight lately that this is even more blinding than I remember. Wow, that is incredible. And I picked up just the littlest amount and it gives you such a gorgeous wet shine. Oof. I'm gonna take my Sony G Smooth Buffer brush and just kind of buff over these two just to kind of bring them all together. Oh yeah, it looks so much more like seamless now. Oof. Love it. Wow. Thank you, Samantha March. These are beautiful. All right, let me throw on some eyebrow gel and then I'll be back to play with the new Dior Quince. Oh, wow. These are so cool looking. So this is number 699 and this palette is called Mirage. And here are some swatches. I'm gonna start at the top left-hand corner, go clockwise, and then hit that center shade as the last swatch. Wow, these are beautiful. These are baked gelée powders and they're marbleized, and all of these shades have a very kind of similar look and feel to them, but they kind of shift to different colors. They're just, it's really cool. Really, really neat. Let's take a look at this other one. This one is number 759, Dune. Ooh, this is beautiful. So here are some swatches of this one. I'm going to do the same thing. Start at the upper left-hand corner, go clockwise, and then hit that center shade. Wow, how pretty. So from what I can tell, at least from the swatches, this Dune quint, some of the shades have a little bit more like micro glitters in there, and the Mirage palette, this one has some micro glitters in there. The rest seem fairly smooth and like a satin kind of sheen. But both of these quints are fairly similar in their color story. Just subtle differences, like this reddish shade down here in the Dune quint, that one stands out the most. I would say the Dune quint also has more of a range of shades, while the ones in the Mirage have a very similar kind of tone to them. Like these two are very close, as is the center shade. And then these two kind of change it up a little bit, but it's all very similar. They all have that same kind of like orangey base to them. But let me stop yammering and get them on my eyes. I'm gonna start with one in the Mirage palette, and I'm gonna go for this shade right up here. Got my Yano brush number 8, and I'm gonna put this kind of all over the center of my lid here. Very subtle, and the color that I'm seeing, at least underneath these lights, is definitely that orange kind of like orange sherbet color. I see a little bit of the pink reflect to it, the pinky peach reflect, just a little bit, very subtle though. Let me switch on over to the Dune palette. I want to try this red shade. I'm going to put that on the outer corner here, and I'm just wiping off my number 8 brush. I'm going to go in with the same brush. And so I'm going to go into this reddish shade. Oh, pretty. I definitely see a difference between those two shades. They work really well together. I mean, I would imagine all 10 of these shades are going to work really well together. I'm going to take my Surratt Classic Shadow Brush. I'm going to go into this brown shade. I want to see how deep this is, and if I can use this to deepen up my outer corner here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Oh, nice. Okay. Well, that brown and that red play so well together. Oh, wow. I'm going to go back to the Mirage palette. I'm going to try this shade up here. I'm going to put this in the inner corner. I want to see if it's brighter on the eye than this shade that I first put down. So I'm going to put it right next to one another. And I want to see if there's much of a difference there. And I'm using my Yano series brush number 10. A little bit, but these two shades are very similar. This one has those micro glitters in there, so when I take a very close look at my eyes, I can see like the little bits in there, but the shade is very similar. Okay, I'm gonna go back to brush number 8. I'm gonna go into the center shade in Mirage, and I'm gonna put this, the center portion of this eye. Again, I just wanna see if there's like much of a difference between these 3 shades up top on the eye. You know, I would say that these 3 shades are like the same shade with different finishes. This one in the center is like a satin. You can see that here. This one is more of like a metallic, and then this one is more of like a micro glittery one. But I think just kind of looking at them on the eye, they're really, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. All right, now I'm going to go into this Mirage like reddish shade, and I want to see if I'm going to be able to see it as much as the one from the Dune quint. Yeah, I mean, I definitely see the tone there. It's a little bit more subtle, I feel like, than the red tone from the Dune palette. And then let me try this like darker brown shade over here. Yeah, I wonder if you guys could see it. So this side where I used more of the Dune palette, and I said this one had like a little bit more of the micro glitters in there. This one does just look like a sparkly version of this. This just looks much more satin and subdued. And there's definitely more contrast with this quint. I would say if you just wanted to pick one of these, I would definitely go with the Dune over the Mirage. Yeah, I just feel like this is, there's just more contrast between all the shades in here versus this one. All right, I'm gonna use my Sonia G liner brush. I'm gonna go back into the Dune palette into this brown shade. Add this to my lower lash line. Add a little to my upper lash line here. All right, well, my first impressions for these quints is I really like the formula and I really like how they perform. I think that they blended in really, really nicely. I do like the color story, but I feel like I said this about those trios that they came out with. They're so similar that I wish they did something really different. I wish they did the Dune and then just something like maybe a lot deeper with some more dramatic shades or something, because this Baked Gelée formula is really, really pretty. It's really lovely. Again, easier to work with, but again, I feel like they kind of missed an opportunity here to kind of do something, you know, rich and deep with like another palette. But I think if you just got one and not both, you would be very, very happy with that one. Do you know what I mean? I think it's just, if you wanted to get both, it's, I don't know, it's just kind of no point. But I would choose the Dune over the Mirage. This one would be my pick over this one. All right, I'm gonna curl my eyelashes, throw in some mascara. I don't have any new mascara. And then we'll be back to play around with all of these new lippies that I have. We'll be doing five lip swatches, 2 of Hermes, 3 of Gucci. I'll be right back. All right, mascara is on. And of course, anything that I'm not applying on camera, I'll list down below in the description box along with everything else that I'm talking about today. But let's start with these lipsticks. I don't know, do I want to end with Hermes or end with Gucci? I think I want to end with Gucci. I know with Gucci, I purchased a lot of more like nudie shades, and I feel like that would go really well with this look. The 2 Hermes shades, one is nude and one is like a bright coral. So let's try the bright coral first because I am very excited for this one. So these are limited edition and they did come out with 3 shades. I got the beige and the coral because those are just shades that I like. The third one is more of like a pink, which I passed on. The coral comes in this packaging with the aqua and the beige. So this is number 52, by the way, and this is a satin finish. Okay, here is the coral shade. Oh, maybe I should have ended with this. This is so beautiful. And the satin formula from Hermes it's very pigmented. It goes on really, really smoothly. It's very creamy. I really, really like the formula. There is a slight fragrance. It is one of the Hermes fragrances. I'm not familiar with it, but it's almost smells like a candy. It's really, really pleasant. And it is light, but I did want to mention that. But here is number 52, Coral Aqua. And here is number 17, Beige. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. It's number 17. And here is this packaging. This is beautiful. Here it is in the tube. And this is also the satin finish. This is definitely like a My Lips, but much better. Much better. It has a little bit of pink, a little bit of peach. It's actually pretty neutral. It's like right down the middle in terms of like color depth and like temperature and everything. It looks great. Perfect everyday color. So those are the 2 new Hermes lipsticks. Again, I did not get the third one that came out as part of this limited edition spring summer series. But let's move over to these new Gucci lipsticks. And again, these are the Glow and Care lip colors. So here is what the packaging looks like. Very Gucci. It has like a gold bottom here. And then the cap has this very kind of retro pattern on there. And then it says Gucci on the top. So this first shade that I got is number 112, Sally Soft Honey. Ooh, this is pinkier in person. And these are like slender lipsticks. Let me just hold it up next to the Hermes. So these are like skinny lipsticks. Ooh, very like glossy. Ooh, yeah, very glossy, very balmy. In fact, this has, I think, a little bit of a thicker, richer texture than their balm formula, which is a little bit lighter. You know, the ones that come with the like turquoise cover. Let me pull it out. These guys, they're like tinted balms. So this one is in the No More Orchids. And this just kind of glides on like kind of like a normal like lip balm. This has like a thicker, there's like a little bit of a drag there, and it's like a denser formula, richer. Lovely. Next, let's try number 113, Lynette Stone. And here's like a cool toned brown. Ooh, very softly pigmented. Ooh, I love these. It's so weird. I feel like I don't smell anything in the tube, but when I put it on, I smell it. I don't taste anything, but I smell it when I put it on. Oh, how weird. Okay, so there's like a little fragrance to these. So that's number 113. Love this shade. And then last but not least, let's try number 204, Peggy Taupe. Ooh, so this looks a little bit deeper than the one we just tried. Ooh, I really like these. Look at that. Do you see that sheen that it has? That's how moisturizing they feel. That sheen is very indicative of how moisturizing these feel. Wow, these are fantastic. So comfortable. Oh, there's castor seed oil, jojoba seed oil, shea butter. All right, well, there is my try-on haul, mainly from Selfridges. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. So far, I really love everything. Again, I'm just a little bit like, you know, Dior could have done 2 different color stories for their 2 different quints, but I really hope you can see that this side, the Dune side, is more glitzy than the Mirage side. Other than that, I'm so glad I tried the Guerlain Terracotta Bronzer again. I do feel like you need to kind of break through that top layer, and then I felt like I got a nice amount of pigment there. It really kind of like warmed up my face. Everything else is great. This foundation looks fantastic. You know, it's just, I'm not surprised. Dior foundations are always so good. And that's it. Yeah, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.